If you're watching this story, I promise stay till the end. Because what this little girl said in the middle of that restaurant changed a billionaire's heart forever. So before we begin, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe, because stories like this one remind us that kindness still exists, even in the most unexpected places. It was a rainy evening in the city. The kind of night where streetlights blurred through the downpour and people hurried past, lost in their own worlds. Inside a small diner at the corner of Maple Avenue, a single dad named Ethan wiped the last table before closing. His little daughter, Lily, sat quietly in a booth by the window, her tiny hands cupping a warm mug of cocoa that had long gone cold. Ethan looked at her and smiled faintly, hiding the exhaustion behind his eyes. "Ready to go, sweetheart?" he asked. She nodded, her curls bouncing. "Can we get that soup for the old man outside, Daddy? The one who always sits near the bus stop?" Ethan hesitated. It was already late, and the diner's owner had warned him about giving food away again. But Lily's innocent eyes left him with no choice. He poured some leftover soup into a small container, smiled, and said, "You've got the biggest heart, you know that?" What neither of them knew was that someone had been watching, someone who hadn't stepped into a place like that in years. Her name was Cassandra Blake, CEO of one of the biggest corporations in the country. Dressed in a tailored suit and holding a sleek phone, she had stopped by on her driver's suggestion, just for a coffee before her late meeting. But when she saw the father and daughter, something about their quiet warmth pulled her in. She sat down at a corner table and listened as Ethan gently scolded Lily for staying up past bedtime, as he joked about burnt fries, and as she giggled like she didn't notice the tiredness behind his jokes. Cassandra's world had always been about control, contracts, deals, profit margins, but this? This was something she hadn't felt in a long time. When Ethan came over to take her order, he was polite but distant, just like any tired worker on his last shift. "What can I get you, ma'am?" "Just coffee," she said, watching his worn-out hands as he wrote on the notepad. "You work here every night?" He smiled weakly. "Every night, every morning too sometimes." He hesitated, then added, "Single dad life, it doesn't come with rest days." Cassandra didn't know why, but those words stayed with her. She wanted to say something, maybe offer help, maybe just ask about the little girl, but before she could, her phone buzzed. A reminder, meeting with the board in 10 minutes. She left the diner with her usual grace, but her mind wasn't in the meeting that night. It was with that little girl with the cocoa cup and the man with tired eyes who smiled anyway. The next evening, she came back. This time, she ordered dinner. She watched Ethan serve customers, help a crying child who dropped his fries, and clean the same table 3 times just to keep busy. She could see his pride, his quiet dignity even in struggle. When the diner closed, Cassandra approached him again. "You ever think of doing something else?" Ethan chuckled. "All the time. But dreams don't pay bills. Not for people like me." She tilted her head. "People like you?" He shrugged. "People who've made too many mistakes to start over." The honesty in his voice hit her. Cassandra had her own mistakes too, once hidden behind luxury and success. A broken marriage, a son she barely saw, and a father who died before she could say she was sorry. She wanted to tell him that maybe everyone deserved a second chance. But before she could, Lily ran up to her dad, holding a crumpled drawing. "Look, Daddy. I made us a big house. And you don't have to work so much anymore." Ethan smiled, but his eyes glistened. "That's beautiful, sweetheart." Cassandra felt something crack inside her chest. That night, she couldn't sleep. Days turned into weeks. She kept visiting the diner, not for the food, but for them. For that small reminder that happiness didn't come from success, but from love. Then one night, things changed. The diner owner had a fight with Ethan. He accused him of giving free meals again. "You're costing me money, Ethan. You can't just hand out food like this." Ethan tried to explain, but the owner wouldn't listen. "You're fired," he snapped. The whole diner went silent. Ethan looked at Lily, standing by the door with tears in her eyes. He knelt, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "It's okay, Daddy," she whispered softly. We can leave. Those words, so pure, so heartbreakingly innocent, echoed through the diner. Cassandra had just walked in when she heard them. Something in her broke wide open. Wait, she said, stepping forward. Everyone turned to look at her. He's not leaving. I'll buy this place. Gasps filled the room. Ethan blinked, confused. You'll what? Cassandra smiled gently. You've been giving people hope, Ethan. Feeding strangers, caring for your daughter, showing kindness when no one's watching. I've spent years surrounded by people who only cared about numbers, not hearts. But you reminded me what really matters. Within a month, Cassandra did exactly what she promised. She bought the diner and gave Ethan full control of it. Together, they turned it into something beautiful, a community kitchen that fed anyone who came hungry. As for Lily, she became the little sunshine everyone adored, drawing pictures that hung all over the walls. And Cassandra? She visited often, always bringing her son, learning again how to be a mother, learning what real family meant. One evening, as the sun dipped below the city skyline, Cassandra sat beside Ethan outside the diner. You changed me, she said quietly. I used to think love was a weakness. But you, and Lily, you showed me it's the only strength that matters. Ethan smiled, eyes warm. Guess we both needed saving. And that night, under the golden streetlight glow, two broken souls found healing not through wealth or success, but through kindness, honesty, and the small voice of a child who simply said, "It's okay, Daddy, we can leave." If this story touched your heart even a little, don't forget to like this video and subscribe, because sometimes, the smallest moments can lead to the biggest changes. And who knows? The story that changes your life might be the next one you watch.